Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, beautiful Miriam. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our episode number 52, 3. I don't remember. As usual, we had a beautiful talk before. And he brought us to this beautiful topic today, which is what does it mean to live fully your life? What does it encompasses? What does it bring forward? And
Mm.
what are the benefits actually to live fully your life? What does it mean and what does it bring in you positively in your life? And we're here to present to you all the beauty and all the ugly, but it makes it all a beautiful mix of life. And
Yeah,
I hope it serves you as a and as a reminder for you guys to grasp life fully and to not be scared about it. Even when you're scared, you just go for it, right? So would you like to start, Miriam, or how do you feel about it? What do you feel like saying right now?
yeah, we just experienced it. So I think the we experience sometimes in life certain situations that do affect us, right, in a certain way, and make us lose or dim our energy, our spark, our true nature. But deep down, we all can relate to that beautiful feeling of when we know, when we are so aligned with ourselves, we are so aligned with God, with everything around us, and it has nothing to do with circumstances, your job, your the person you're with, or no, it's an inside feeling that we have, right? When we feel good with ourselves. So once that feeling is gone through certain experiences, challenging experiences, we talked about betray, getting hurt, whatever, losing self-confidence, we kind of dim that light, right? But that light is
Mm,
never done. We feel like someone hurt us, so we are part of us is hurt now. That is part of it. But what we realized, or what is the beauty of it, is just that we realize it just takes some time to heal, but that spark can come back, right? But we have to choose to get the spark back, and to maybe also take the time to heal that part inside us until we find it, and it might take a while. But then we talk about what is the essence of life? Do we want to live with that fear, with that little injury that we have, with the dimming lights? Or do we want to go back into completely going full in life, showing ourselves vulnerable, getting hurt again, but at the same time feeling so alive and feeling so much ourselves? And the beautiful talk we just had was that our personalities, and I guess a lot of people, once we understand that that is actually life, getting hurt, falling, feeling rejection, feeling beauty, feeling love,
failing.
failing, everything, that this is all part of it and this is all beautiful, right? Because we always think that life should only have the beautiful parts, but the beautiful parts will not be beautiful without the unbeautiful parts, right? So we need both of those. And it's the reason how we feel alive, if it's negative or positive. Both contributes to making us feel something. And when we talk, we both agreed on, yeah, that we want to feel alive, that we want to feel ourselves. And we put that always on top of planning everything, figuring everything out, structuring everything. I don't know, having the
Controlling.
controlling on a certain lifestyle that we want to have, on a certain outcome that we want to have. Because at the end, we never know. Even if you have that right now, let's imagine you're a mom, having your kids, your house, your marriage, your perfect job, whatever. Like, you don't know if you have this in 5 years. You don't know if you have this in 10 years. So like, I'm not saying think about the negative sides. I'm just saying, like, this is a part where you are right now, but maybe that part will change again. And that is life, to really feel fulfilled, and to go through all these phases and taking it all in, and seeing somehow not always the beauty in everything, but somehow the learnings and everything, and seeing it as a part that all of it are contributing towards you, You know, it's not that the negative parts are taking away from you. So yeah.
Love this so much. Strong, strong, come, strong introductory, strong comeback. I love it so much. And that inspires me to say that it's all about contraction and expansion. So I truly believe that humans, especially our souls, are meant to expand, right? And when we contract, and I think you can all relate to it, when I talk about contraction, you can feel it. You feel the fears kind of taking over you. You feel like a pressure on your shoulders, on your being. You feel a form of stress and anxiety contracting your energy and your vitality. And without even acknowledging it or being aware of it. And that's why it's so important, this introspection, is that you let those fears and those hurt of the past or whatever beliefs you've built on a programming that has kept you small, you let that run the show. And without even knowing it, you function in a way that is not making you feel alive, right? And what happens when we don't allow ourselves to feel alive this way and allow instead the fears and the hurt dictate our life and contract us? Then we slowly, slowly dim our light. We slowly and slowly dim our motivation, our vitality, our envy to go after a dream, our desire to create motivation and momentum in our life, right? And we all have this vitality inside of us, guys. We all have this deep desire to achieve something, to succeed in something, to find purpose, to find meaning. It is rooted in us. If it was not, then we would not be humans. It would not, what would be the goal to live on earth if we didn't have this inner calling inside of us, each one of us, right? So when you allow this contraction to just take space in your life, you're not honoring your true self. You're not honoring what you're meant to be in earth, which was to expand, right? So what I wish for you to what I wish for you to say, what I wish to say to you guys is, when you have those hurt and those fears coming up, and you know it, you, if you really take a moment to really pinpoint, okay, now it's scary, now we say I don't want to do it, oh no, I don't dare to do that because notice the narrative of the fears coming up. I don't want to do that because I fear to be hurt. I don't want to do this because I fear to get hurt. I don't want to do this because I don't want to lose my head and my impressions and my reputation in front of people. I don't want to speak up because I don't want to take this job because I don't want to, you know, try and have this, give my application to this thing because they would never accept me. Every little narrative that we keep telling ourselves that makes us feel like we protect ourselves, it makes us feel like we're not going to dare. That's where exactly you have to get there. That's exactly where you have to go, guys. Where your fears are pointing you at and scream at you to not go there, that's where you have to go. Fuck, Macy, what are you asking us right now? It's completely feeling against our not the nature but against everything our fear is telling, and it's contracting us. Our nervous system is, it's literally like sometimes our psychological fear makes us feel like it's a physical fear, right? It's like really like feeling like we're jumping off a cliff right now, right? And I'm here to tell you this is exactly where we have to look into. This is exactly what's going to bring you a sense of aliveness that you've never experienced before. Because you're not going to find the sense, and I'm not saying you're not going to live good if you stay contracted and in your fears, but you're never going to feel the sense of aliveness if you don't go amidst your fears. Your fears are teachers. Your fears and your hurt are teachers. Your fears and hurt are also lanterns. They will and are going to show you the way towards where you must seek and discover yourself.
Mhm.
The most beautiful part that's going to unlock inside of you is when you're going to go outside of your comfort zone. Is when you're going to go and discover and keep going amidst the fears, because the fear is not going to disappear by staying put, right? Our fear is going to get transformed as we go, even when we fear. And we have this immense capacity and ability of the freedom of will. So no matter what goes in your mind, no matter the narrative, no matter the fears coming up, you still have the power to act and take a direction no matter what. Your fear is truly not stopping you physically when you think of it. It's not like attaching you and keeping you like Houdini and staying in a house being in prison, truly. It's what you think makes you feel in prison that actually makes you a prison, right? It's all starts from within. But truly, you can literally book this bungee jumping. You're at the edge, and all your body is like, nope, not a good idea. Let's not jump. Nope, nope, nope. And all the things go running your mind of the possible things that can go bad, are telling you not to jump. Guess what? You still fucking jump. What makes you jump? It's your freedom of will. And this feel of thrill of still doing it amidst this fear of telling you should not be jumping right now because this is not logical, and still doing it, geez, the thrill that you feel and this feeling of aliveness, there's nothing like it. So we're here to remind you that this feeling of aliveness goes with simple things like walking back home instead of taking the taxi as usual, applying to this job that you think you would never get, as much as trying fully with this beautiful connection that you've been discovering and actually trust in yourself into this discovery and connection. It would be about dressing up more dearly without, you know, fearing what people would think of you. It would be booking this new class that you've never done and you're like, oh my gosh, I would never see me doing this or this aerial yoga, for example, whatsoever, or being a gymnastic or whatever. Fucking do it. I'm gonna stop here, but I was a thing in my
High energy.
I love it because I think it connects a lot with our current seasons. So that's why we love. We go with the flow and we really share with you what really is happening in our own lives so that we can relate, right? Because everything we're experiencing, all those fears we contracted, we experienced it, guys. Of
Yeah.
course. That's the beauty of life. So yeah, back to you.
I love what you shared. I mean, I can 100% just relate to it. So everything, I mean, as you say, everything are emotions, emotions that we have on our minds. Our mind is can trick us so easily, right? Make us feel like that is bad for you. But you can change the way you think. Like you always said, everything is perspective, everything is within you. So if you think that bungee jumping jump is going to kill you, of course it can be, you know, you get excited, you get anxious, but at the same time you can also think it can release a lot of anxiety. It can make you a new person, you know. You really are able to change the way you think about certain things. Same as you get hurt maybe, or you show vulnerability. You are going on a few dates with a person that you like, you know, and you open up and you feel attached and you show vulnerability, and that person doesn't want to see you again. So what? Now what? Now you feel like I'm gonna close forever because that person left me. No, you just take it as something that you experience, and it's okay, you know. It's very okay to feel these things, and again we can change the perspective on it, and maybe also go less with intensity in that into that situation without thinking or giving it too much value, because we decide how much value we give into it. I'm not saying
Mm.
not taking it serious. I'm not saying not being intentional. I'm just saying like the value we put into things, it comes from us. It comes from our expectation, from our fear of attachment. So that's something that you can control actually. So yeah, so maybe that wall that you hit in that moment will not feel that hard. And I'm not saying being detached towards a situation or a activity or whatever, right? I'm just saying that just be aware of it's an emotion. Even the good parts that you feel, it's an emotion. It will not stay forever, right? So the only thing you have is the control that you have. How do you go in your alignment phase with yourself without out external circumstances coming towards you? That alignment, that is always there, that is always present. But the emotions you feel, the attachment you feel towards certain things that are happening, activities, I don't know, relationships, dates, that is just a moment. It's just an emotion. And it is real, but it's not your reality. Like that is not like everything, you know? Everything you have is you at the end. So that is something you can always go back to control yourself or to align yourself. And we were talking before that about the connection that we have to the source, for example. That is something we do relate a lot to. Some people might relate to something else that is grounding them. So whatever tool you have that is grounding you, may this be a spiritual practice, religious practice, you know, or just a yoga or a movement practice, whatever it is, like that is something that you can control. And that is something that you can take to always go back to and to find like a grounding feeling again. Like, where am I really? How much am I attached to that outcome, to that circumstances? But anything else is just there to, I think, to serve us for a wave, a short wave, maybe a longer wave of years, you know. And if you think about activity, maybe you're excited about the vacation that you plan. Maybe you the flight get canceled, you know, and you feel rejected or you feel like frustrated. It's so normal, you know, but it's about how you deal with that. So that is a small emotion. Let it come, let it go. Find your practice again to ground yourself. When it's something bigger, you know, maybe you are with someone for a few years and that person is not there in your life anymore. So that can be heavier. But even that, you know, it's a wave in life. Even if it's a longer wave of years, it's still a wave. Because life is always like this, right? But we like to think that it's like, okay, once we hit that wave, we will stay there forever and it will always go there. But no, and the moment we understand it, the moment we understand, even if you have certain things that are valuable for you can still feel again very low, you know? So the only thing you have is that is you and that connection, probably. So that is something that you can work on to strengthen and to go faster back towards that connection when you feel misaligned. And when you have this tool, like that is such a beautiful tool because that's something no one can take from you. No one. And we were just talking about that, right? How much we fell in love with ourselves. We were just saying, like, we love ourselves right now that much because we did the work of connecting with ourselves through what is helping us to connect with ourselves, you know, if it's God, if it's a spiritual practice, whatever, you know. Mm. So yeah, maybe that's also something important to give to your people, you know, so that they have something to focus on.
Love
Yeah.
this so much. Oh my gosh, so powerful. It's beautiful. And you said it, everything is of passage, right? So nothing is permanent. And the ego mind likes to think things are permanent so they can control the outcome, so they can know what's going to happen in the future. But the truth is, the only constant is change, like you said, right? So it's so important, this grounding, like you said, because we're not asking you to just keep going full head on and just get hurt and don't care about it and just like brush it off like nothing matters here, right? And that's the beauty of life, is that the cycle happens. We try full on, we open our heart in many ways, we go in our vulnerability, we dare to go after our dreams. And then along the way, we will get hurt, guys. It's okay. It is part of the game. It is part of the playful life that we are in. And then when that happens, something's gonna hit you harder, others gonna hit you lighter. Then that's when your grounding happens. That's where we shall take a moment to introspect and see, what does that serve me? What am I learning from this hurt, from this trigger, from this pain? Because I said it, trigger, pain, hurt are teachers. They're here to teach you along the way. And guess what, guys? There's no one that can tell me today that after they overcame a fear or went after a dream of themselves, come and tell me, yeah, Macy, I feel more weak, less alive, not liking it. Everything you're overcoming and ground yourself with, and obviously heal from it, obviously, I'm not asking you to not be conscious about it. Obviously, everything that is intentional and taking the time to consciously look in within will serve you. right? We don't want to get into life in an unconscious way because that too not gonna serve you. So everything that you consciously go through and work within and allow yourself to be taught with and look at it in different perspective is actually strengthening you guys. It's strengthening you. It's making you more alive. It's making you more resilient. And guess what? It's making you actually more loving, oddly enough. You just have more love pouring outside of you, more confidence, more empathy towards yourself and others, more compassion, more humility. All of this is nourishing your expansion. So when you start shifting your mind and seeing that those hurts and those fears are not against me, but for me, so I can rise better, jeez, then life is just there to serve you guys. That's it, right? And thus, there will be moments where we will feel less alive, and that's okay. And it will be more contractive because we're more in a introspective phase. Okay. And those are important too, guys. But as long as you go back to embracing life fully, daring, going after what makes you feel alive. And that's why when you see people who has lived or is living a life a bit more not calm, but you can be calm and still go after your dream, just saying, but more like tamed down and has accepted their fears are, as their limits, for example, notice how they're not as energized. Notice how they feel tired more often, more fatigued, more anxious, more stressed, more antsy. They're not in an expansion mode, guys.
Yeah.
And intuitively, you can feel that this is not inspiring for you to get this life. Like, no one would see this type of state from a person. And by the way, you can change that state if you are in the state right now, just so you know, that's the whole point of today's episode. No one see the state and says, that seems fun and inspiring. Let me get to this state. It feels so fun and wanting me to get to this state. It doesn't. No intuition inside of you wants to have this state.
Mm.
And that shows you that we're meant to live a life fully and alive, guys.
Mhm.
It's
I
so
love that.
inspiring to have this talk right now for us,
Yeah.
because of both of us. It's like piping me and
Mm.
pumping me for my own life.
No, it's so true. Like I was actually thinking about that because sometimes when we do have that feeling or that thought of, oh, but that person has this and that and this, right? And then we think about, "Ah, I wish I would also have that, right? But then I'm also thinking I actually do not regret anything that I did because I'm feeling so alive. And when, like, something I can truly say is that I lived, in my past, even with all the mistakes and everything, you can say that you lived. So that is something, of course, at the
I
end of the
love
day,
it.
we have different type of people. There are people who love safety. We had this episode before, what is safetiness? But I mean, if that is something that you want and it makes you feel happy, of course. But if you feel something inside you and you know that that is not what you want and you want to go
Yeah, exactly.
for
Depends
certain,
what. Yeah.
then you have to try, and you have to change the perspective and to understand that that is just a different way of living, just a different way of seeing things. And we already, of course, it's a bit challenging in society. These, like, we see, or we are breaking already the traditional pattern of how we used to live, right? Now people are more and more independently and doing their thing and going after one of their what they want. And sometimes people who have more traditional life, let's say, see those people and maybe feel, oh, they are so lost. They have a nomad lifestyle. They don't have a fixed job. They are entrepreneurs. They are, these kind of things, right? But we cannot judge. No one can judge. You have to do what is right for you,
Right.
but you have to think like what makes you feel alive, what makes you feel like you're living, you're truly living. That is the essence of life, right? To live. So
I
that
love
is just the last a last little thought that I wanted to.
Beautiful conclusion, my love. I lived.
Mm,
What it makes you live? Am I
mm,
living my life right now? And what most people think that's going to make them happy has been often ingrained. Nothing wrong with that. Like you said, some people truly feel happy with the traditional way of being successful or happy whatsoever. Honestly, and I've spoke with many people saying, Macy, I dream of a family. Like I can tell it, will really makes me feel happy, But that's why we say, guys, introspect. Take the moment to look within and see what would make you feel like you lived. What would be your biggest dreams? What would make you feel alive? Take this moment, guys, to ask yourself those questions. And I know it can come up with some fears because maybe you're going to realize, shit, I'm not going to get that in my life, or maybe it's not possible. And we're here to remind you that living your life, it's a process. Daring and overcoming your fears is a process. We're not asking you to jump right away if you really cannot feel that it's possible for you right now. We're asking you to take a step, just a little step forward. And that is what life is, guys. To Miriam and I, we started with a step forward. How does somebody build a business? One step at a time. How does somebody feel a fulfilling relationship and committed relationship romantically, step by step, day by day, through discovery? How do people build empires, or how did Rome build itself? It was not in one day. It was step by step, day by day. So the same goes for us. And that's what living is, the journey. Oh, I love this so much, Mariam. I love what you said. I lived. I can
mm,
truly say that for myself so much.
yeah.
And we're going to say that the more we feel alive, the more we rise in our energy and frequencies, and the more we will attract abundance
Mm.
and vitality and
And what is
ease.
really meant for us, who we really are, right? We will really attract
What, yeah,
what is meant for us if we really go after what we feel inside us.
that's true. And it will align because it will be meant for us. So then it's going to become easier because we're going to rise in our authenticity and aliveness. So it will attract every, like you said, yeah, it will attract exactly what we need. You're right. Wow. Beautiful. Yay! Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Miriam, for your presence. I think it concludes beautifully our episode of today. And we see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.